Hey guys, Kimi here. Real quick before I start with this one, I want to both explain and apologize. I had apparently upset a couple people in one of my past reviews. They didn't appreciate being individually criticized. I totally understood and I apologized, and I will apologize anyway again. It was not my intent to offend anyone. I'm a hugger, not a fighter. Well, I don't like physical contact all that much, but I mean metaphorically. I don't want to make enemies. I was frazzled by it and worried I had seriously upset someone until I realized they were just telling me how to, not do that. So I'm changing things up a bit. A bit. I decide I'm no longer giving out individual criticism to artists unless they ask me to. And this is partly a good thing because all I was doing was pointing out things that wouldn't help the artist improve. I was really struggling to the point where I was wasting time pointing out coloring errors or missing pieces and crap like that. That's not helpful. It's not going to help the artist improve. Where are they going to say, golly gee, I should be more careful? At the same time, I got a lot of encouragement after saying my apology, saying that I should continue the individual criticism, making me afraid that I'd disappoint people by not doing what I was doing. If you haven't noticed, I tend to overthink things. So my compromise is review those who only want to be criticized, who verbally, or I guess it's the internet, type it down, tell me, hey, I want to be criticized. In that case, I will try my best to give you advice. I won't nitpick little things anymore. I won't overanalyze because I think that was my problem before. I'll actually be thorough this time. And if you have any issues with this new approach, please let me know in the comments, professionally I mean. The artist in question handled it maturely instead of screeching at me, and I really appreciated that, and that's also why I took the situation as hard as I did. And I also got some advice on editing and stuff. I'll no longer just be using the actual video clip. I have a new sound editing system called Audacity. I made new sprites, if you could see that. Another thing I'm glad about with this new style is I'd be able to do these at least once a week, depending on how busy I am and what maps have come out. If you remember my 5 Giants review, the first one I did, it's going to be more like that. General analysis. Ready As I'll Ever Be was highly requested and very much deserves a video praising it and its 22 animators. So, are you ready? Because I certainly am not. Ready As I'll Ever Be captures the hours before the great battle between the clans and the Dark Forest. One thing I like to assess is how well an audience that hasn't read the Warriors series would process the story. Like, if some random viewer's eye was caught by the thumbnail and they said, well, I don't know a single darn thing about Warriors, but those cats in the thumbnail sure do look mad. And who on the internet doesn't want to see mad cats or any videos about cats in general? This is YouTube. Anyway, I feel that once they were entranced by the exquisite animation, those viewers would understand that tense piece before the battle and the last hope. I wouldn't be surprised if this video had caused some people to want to read the books. It begins, excluding the introduction for now, with Breezepelt, a young warrior trained by the Dark Forest preparing to fight against his clan. It switches to ThunderClan, where Ivypool is giving the clan a pep talk before the battle, rallying them. It continues to escalate, each of the clans preparing the scenery, going into some sort of stormy days, as shown in Glitch Sixels and Stanix clip part. It matches the pace with the song even more with when the ending with Sagittarius' part, which clearly shows the beginning of the battle. It makes the audience who's left in the dark really want to know what happened next. Kind of a cliffhanger and a very enticing one at that. If they're really curious, they'd have to hunt through the Warriors wiki to find out, or watch more videos. I thoroughly believe that the hunters should pay more attention to the map community, because people like Hida and Sparrow's World may very well be earning them more profit. Same goes for other well-known maps like 5 Giants and We All Still Die. Actually, I should add that it wasn't just Hida and Sparrow, it was Soropaw's, Station Pass, and Spirit of Alaska 94. There's literally collaboration in the collaboration. This was not a one-person thing. Well, obviously, it's not a one-person thing anyway, but, like, editing-wise, it wasn't just 1 or 2 people. And clearly I'm skipping over the most prominent part, the animators. Needless to say, maps are purely recreational. The creators are not being paid for this, at least not directly, but they sacrifice their time anyway. It's a pretty spectacular thing seeing how well this blends together when the only thing that was cost was time. This map holds a blend of a bigger well-known animators like Mabel Spider, Mao286, and Night Riser, and some rising stars like F Major, Steph T, and Blober Jalen R11 Twins for a change. Sorry if I'm butchering names here. This gives those lesser-known animators the chance to shine and probably a very well-needed sub-boost. And they collaborated so well together. I don't see a single part in this with the transition that throws you off. Like the transition between Smalltalks and Alex Harris, for example. That smooth sweep of Ivy Pool's head really makes it seem like the same part. And actually, if you were to slow down those two parts, you can see Small's style just morph into Alex's. And also some pretty nice smear frames too. They also added some little nuances, like how every couple of parts Dovewing's eyes would change between amber, green, and blue. In Blue Maroon's part, she has it switch from amber to blue as she looks at the sky. I believe it was explained that signals her using her powers. I didn't look at the design directions to see whether he'd had intentionally told them which colors to have in which parts specifically, or if they were just like, meh, it's up to you, and just gave them the palette for each color. And another thing I'm impressed about is how all the artists managed to get their parts done within a month, more or less, I believe. This really shows professionalism amongst the animators. Now I'm going to touch on the introduction in the credits. The introduction is a preface taking a piece of audio from the Tingle series. I've never watched the series, and using it in this setting. It fits very well. One star is preparing Wind Clan for grave danger.
Grave danger. He's in grave danger. He's in grave danger. Grave danger.
It builds tension and character, especially considering Breeze Pelt is not shown until the beginning of Maple Spider's part, observing the motivational speech. So it's not just cycling around Breeze Pelt and Ivy Pool and all of the main characters that have any lines in this. It cycles around the clans themselves, the leaders, how they're all working together against this common evil, except for the very few people, that one little minority that is with the Dark Forest. Going back to the previous subject, there's no doubt this earned a Tangled series an audience as well. For a while I was detested by it, only because of personal bias. Why do they have to make every movie a TV series? Tangled was good enough on its own. But I see why now. It's for things like this, to give people who happened upon the show more ideas to keep the franchise alive. I'm still not completely convinced, but I'm thankful it at least exists for this and might give the show a try, thanks to a well-made musical soundtrack prevalent in this map. The credits show each of the thumbnails submitted in the entry scrolling up and down the screen. That's what I'm really glad about. To see the hype built for this map before it was completed alongside the completed project really gives a thank you to the viewers for being patient and excited. It shows a showcase of all those who didn't win the thumbnail contest, but because they still tried, were included in the completed project anyway. So, in summary, this was a practically flawless project, in my opinion. It makes me glad I didn't do the individual criticism, because I would have looked like doofus doing my usual nitpicking on this collaborative masterpiece. It really shows how, even over the internet, people can still work together, even when not face-to-face with each other. They can work well together. I personally prefer to talk to people face to face, but seeing at how well it could work, seeing at how well these things could work, simply just over text and emails and YouTube comments and all this stuff really shows that it doesn't always require face-to-face contact to make something beautiful like this. I hope this new journalistic style review was good enough for you all. And keep those requests coming for future maps I should review. Remember that they have to have been out the past few months so that the artist's skill level haven't changed since it was hosted, and that I also have to ask permission from the host to review the map. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!